कृष्ण भक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोकिर्भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So dear devotees, you are all welcome for continuity of our Bhakti Vaibhava study of Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, and we are discussing chapter 2, the Maharaj Agnidhar, the son of Priyavrta, and up till verse 16 we have finished the third section. Agnidhar Maharaj's expertise and skill to attract Purushiti, and that technically is called what? Technically, that is skill of a male to attract the female by very artistic and intelligent way is called Vidagdha. Yeah, Vidagdha. Right. And Rupa Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami has written a book, Vigadha Madhava. Madhav is a Krishna is most expert in attracting the young gopis. So now we already started yesterday the last section, 17 to 23, Agnidhar's descendants, his family life, and the destination of Agnidhar when he left body. So now we have to discuss the Agnidhar's family life. So this verse 18 is a Sa. Sa means Agnidhar, or Sa means Puroshiti. Cha tatastasya veera. These are the qualities of Agnidhar. He was Veer, which means he was Veer Yutha Pate. One word is there, Veer Yutha Pate, which means master of the heroes. Veer Yutha Pate. Buddhi, Sheel, Rupa, Vayaha. These four are one word. Buddhi means intelligence, Sheel means behavior, Rupa has beauty, and Vaya has youth. So almost there are 7 specific characteristic or visheshan of Agnidhar's attractiveness. And then there is a Shriya Audarena. So he was opulent, Shriya, and Udarena by his magnanimity. Parakshipta Manas. Parakshipta, Para Akshipta. Prakristena Rupena Akrishana. Completely attracted. Manaha, the mind. Tena Saha, with him. How long? The Purvachiti and beautiful, youthful hero with well character, magnanimous, all attractive to the mind of the Purvachiti, they enjoyed life for ayutaha. Ayutaha means 10,000 parivatsara years. Where they were staying, what was their place where they were staying? Jambu Dvipa Patina. He was the ruler of Jambu Deep. And what is Jambu Deep's specific characteristic? It is Bhoma Swarga. It is the heaven on the earth. And Bhogan Babuje means they enjoyed. Bhogan means pleasure, they enjoyed pleasure. So generally in Bhagavatam we have the information of three types of heavens. One heaven is where Indra reside, upper planetary system. Actually we are living in a Bhulok, above there is Bhuva and then Swa. So those who are in Bhuva and Swa Lok, they have more opulent life than us. There is one Swarg, which is a technical Sarg which everybody wants to go. The another Swarga or heaven is called the island of Jammu Deep, in which there are 9 tracts of land or Varsha. They are considered Bhoma Swarga. Those who are fallen from the Sarg after enjoying their pious credits, they come and take birth in Jambu Deep. In 8 Varshas generally, and they live there for 10,000 years. No disease, no old age. At the last age they get one son. So they are also the very place of pleasure for the people coming from Swarg is called Bhoma Swarga. And what is the third Swarga? What is the third heaven in Bhagavatam? Anybody? Bilva Swarga. Bilva Swarga means the planets which are under earth, particularly Sutal Lok, where Bali Maharaj is residing, is more opulent with heavenly pleasure than even the Indra's Lok, the place of Indra. That's called Bilva Sarga, Bhoma Swarga, and the Swarga. So there is a description of 3 Swarga in our Bhagavatam. So the translation goes, attracted by the intelligence, learning, youth, beauty, behavior, opulence and magnanimity of Agnidhar. These are all the specific qualification of Agnidhar. The king of Jambu Deep, the master of all heroes, Purvachiti lived with him for many thousands of years and luxuriously enjoyed both worldly and heavenly happiness. Chakravarti Pai writes, the list of qualities starting with Buddhi is a Dvanda compound, indicating the group as whole, and is thus expressed in singular instead of plural. This is a Sanskrit way of thinking, reading the verse. And anyway, this is another Sanskrit part. Srila Prabhupada writes, by the grace of Lord Brahma, because he worshipped Brahma, Agnidhar, and also he pleased Brahma by his austerities. So Brahma sent him the special celestial girl from his own planet. So by the grace of Brahma, King Agnidhar and heavenly girl, Prabhupada wrote here heavenly, actually she is from Brahmalok. Purvachiti found their union quite suitable because of their matching. Thus they enjoyed worldly and heavenly happiness for many thousands of years. Now next, Tasyam uhava Atmajam Tasyam, from that Purvachiti, Atmajam means son. So Agnidhar begot sons, and then their names are given. So Purvachiti gave birth to 9 very powerful, glorious sons. In the womb of Purvachiti, Maharaj Agnidhar, the best of the kings, begot 9 sons. And all these 9 sons, the Nabhi, Kima Purusha, Hari Varsha, Ilavarta, Ramyaka, Hiranyamaya, Kuru, Bhadrashava, and Ketumal. So Kima Purusha is a one tract of land in Jambudweep. Harivarsh is another tract of land. Ilavarth is the third and central tract of land. Ramyak is a fourth. Hiranyamaya is fifth. Kuru is sixth. Bhadrashva is seventh. And Kentumal is eighth. And the ninth tract of land in Jambudweep is called Bharatvarsh. That was ruled by Maharaj Bharata, the grandson of Nabhi. So the rulers of all these tracts of land in Jambudweep are son of Maharaj Agnidhar from Purvachiti. Verse 20. Sa sutava atha sutam navano vatsaram graha eva pahaya purvachiti bhoya evajam devam upattaste. Purvachiti gave birth to these 9 sons, one each year. Nava Anu Vatsaram. Anu Vatsaram. Vatsar means year. Anu means one after other. But after they grew up, Bhuya Evajam Devam Upataste. She left them at home and again approached Lord Brahma to worship him. It means it was simply a arrangement by Brahma for Lord Rishabhadev's appearance and the great rulers of the Jambudweep, that he sent Purvachiti, and after she has performed her service, she went back to Brahma. So here Chakravarti Pad writes, she left the children in the house of king. Since she was an Apsara, she cannot live long time with the human being. She gave up her affection for them, and that she previously had. Srila Prabhupada is just giving a little history of Apsaras, or the heavenly celestial girls, or girls coming from the higher planets. They may come sometime to the earthly planet just for some specific purpose, sent by the demigods, Indra or Brahma or whatever. But then they go back there. They cannot stay here. So Srila Prabhupada gave 2 examples in the purport, one of the Manika with Vishwamitra, and one of Agnidhar, this Purvachiti. And similarly we have the 3rd example of Urvasi left Maharaj Pururva. So really what we deduct or conclude that one should not be attached to the heavenly celestial Apsaras, because they are not attached or attracted to anybody. They only follow their master's order and do the job as long as they are asked for. So Srila Prabhupada writes, there are many instances in which Apsaras, the heavenly angels, have descended to this earth by the order of the superior demigod, like Lord Brahma or Indra. Have followed the demigod's order by marrying someone and giving birth to children, and have then returned to their celestial homes. One Anjani also came by the curse of Vasishtha to become the wife of Monkey King and gave birth to Hanuman. So, and then she left. After giving birth, she left. For example, after Menka, the celestial woman who had come to delude Vishwamitra Muni, gave birth to child Sakuntala, she left both the child and her husband and returned to the heavenly planet. Purvachiti did not remain permanently with Maharaj Agnidhar. After cooperating in his household affair, she left Maharaj Agnidhar and all 9 sons and returned to Brahma to worship him. You have some more example like this? Yes, some more example where the heavenly or demigoddess type of Apsara.
Kandu and Pramalocha.
Huh?
Kandu Muni and Pramalocha.
Kandu Muni, mother of
this Marisha, wife
of
of
Marisha.
The Prachetas.
Wife of Parcheta, Marisha, wife of Parcheta, which was fed nectar by moon god and ended. Okay. Parmalocha and Kandu Rishi. Okay. Some other. One very famous. Yes. Yes. Would that we have written right here, the Manika. Ganga, Mother Ganga came down.
Ganga.
Yeah, married Maharaj Priyavarta and Bhisham was born. Ganga came and she left. So we have such examples as Srila Prabhupada writes. This was a system for some time. In earlier ages, the Apsaras were sent by they were cursed in some way for some special purpose, and then they came on earth and married to the humanly. Generally, rishis are kingly order, and then gave birth to some special personalities, and then they left. Now we have Agnidhar Sutaste Mato Anugrahat, the son of Agnidhar, Te Matur, their mother Anugrahat, because she was merciful to them. Autpati ke naiva, which means Anugraha. Prabhupada writes, the Acharya says, Anugraha of the mother means feeding breast milk. Utpati kena, naturally, because she was not an ordinary woman of this world, they were Simhannan, well-built bodies like the lions. Bal, they have a strength. Upe, Pitra, Vibhakta, now the father has divided the Jambu Deep which he was ruling alone, now he gave to his sons. So because of drinking the breast milk of their mother, the 9 sons of Agnidhar naturally had strong, well-built bodies. Their father gave them each a kingdom in a different part of the Jambu Deep. Whatever the name of the deep, the ruler's name is the son of Agnidhar, except Bharatvarsh, where the ruler was Nabhi, then his son Vrishabdev, and then his son Maharaj Bharat. I hope so. The kingdoms were named according to the names of the son. Thus the son of Agnidhar ruled the kingdom they received from their father. Because of drinking milk directly from her breast, the sons had naturally long limbs. Sanghanan. They ruled separately kingdoms. Srila Prabhupada writes, Acharya specifically mentioned that in this verse the word Matu Anugrahat, by the mercy of their mother, refers to breast milk of their mother. Actually, mother is the only personality whose anugraha melt and form milk. Though the children are loved by father, grandfather, maternal father, but only mother, her anugraha melt and bakes milk. So therefore, Matu anugraha means the love become liquid as a milk. And in India it is a common belief that if a baby is fed his mother's milk for at least 6 months. Prabhupada says 6 months. At least. Generally Krishna was on breastfeed at least up till 3 years or so. Because when the Damodar Leela was happening, Krishna was already 2.5 years. So practically speaking, generally mother used to, the boy stand and have a breastfed, standing on his own. That mother used to be called Padmani, the one who was feeding the baby for 5 years. If for 1 year, then she is called Kamini. But unfortunately, presently, the modern days ladies are not breastfeeding their children because they think their beauty will be ruined. This is a misconception, false notion. Even medical science proved that those mothers who are not feeding milk to their babies has more chances of breast cancer. But more than that, the breast milk of the mother gives her, the child, not only natural strength, but the parampara, tradition, culture, and dharma, all are coming through the mother of milk of the mother. So beside that, it is mentioned here in that all the sons of Agnidhar endowed with the nature of their mother. Bhagavad Gita says, also declares, Strishu Dushtasu Varshane Jayanti Varna Shankaraha. Now Prabhupada is taking the opposite meaning of the verse. The positive meaning is that if mother fed breast milk to his offspring, then the children will be strong, cultured, following the tradition, parampara, dharma, culture, behavior. But if they don't, and if the children are Varna Shankar, it means mixing of the Varna, then Strishu Dushtasu Varshane Jayante Varna Shankara Shanka Narka Eva Kule Bhavanti. So this verse is very first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. When the women are polluted means they change husband, not from the same Varna. and polluted in one sense when they don't feed milk to their children. And worse than that, they kill their children in the womb. One Shankar unqualified children are generated, and when the one Shankar population increases, the entire world becomes hellish. Therefore, according to Manu Santa, a woman needs a great deal of protection in order to remain pure and chaste, so that her children can be fully engaged for the benefit of human society. So positive side is Agnidhar's son breastfed by Purvachiti, and they were qualified king for the benefit of the human society. While on the other side, what is happening in a modern single parent children which are suffering all over the world. This is the greatest crisis of the world, that single parent children. We need father to discipline, we need mother for anugrah. Or it's a, the shape is given by pot maker to the earthen pot. From outside he is hitting like anything, but from inside he has a very soft hand. Then the pot gets shape. So similarly, children needs a discipline by a father from outside, and a loving anugraha and affectionate hand from inside to give shape to their personality. Same thing is for Gurukul. All the traditional Gurukul and Vedic system has a Guru Mata and Guru Pita. Guru and Guru Mata. Guru Pita is to discipline, but Guru Mata is to give the affection and really anugrah on them. And since present day, Gurukuls don't have Guru Matas, so there are so many problems and disaster, and no more affection for the children, only strict discipline, so they are not properly shaped and trained. So this is actually failure of the modern day Gurukul education. Verse number 22. Agnidharo raja triptaha kamanam apasarasam evanu anudinam adhimanyamanastasyaha salokatam shrutibhi avarundhayatra pitro madayante. Now comes the destination of Agnidhar. Yatra pitro madhyante. Madhyante means enjoy, take pleasure. Where the pitra are the departed soul of the pious action go, Agnidhar went there. After Purvachiti's departure, King Agnidhar, his lusty desires not at all satisfied, always thought of her. Any other example very similar to that in Bhagavatam?
Pururva, King Pururva.
Yes. Urvasi left, and then she was searching for Urvasi. He met Urvasi, got 6 sons in 6 years, and then he wanted Urvasi more. She said, "Oh, no, Gandharva will give you another woman." And instead of Urvasi, they got Agni Stali. And then by that time the Treta Yuga started, and Pururva used the yagya and went to the place where the Urvasi was. Very similar to that. His lusty desires not at all satisfied, always thought of her. Therefore, in accordance with the Vedic injunction, the king after his death was promoted to the same planet as his celestial wife. That planet which is called Pitraloka is where the Pitas, the forefathers, live in great delight. Pitraloka. Very early days when Prabhupada's new editors and disciples were not aware of the Vedic terminology, they translated tree, Pitra. So they said tree, the place is called tree. So there are some mistakes because of not knowledge of the system. So Chakravarti Pad writes, he thought of her with great desire, Kamanam. By performing action according to Veda, Shruti Bhihi, he attained her planet where the Pitra enjoy. So Srila Prabhupada writes, if one always think of something, he suddenly gets a related body after death. Maharaj Agnidhar was always thinking of Pitralok, the place where his wife had returned. Therefore, after his death, he achieved that same planet, probably to live with her again. Bhagavad Gita says, Yam yam vapi swambhavam tejate ante kaleravam tam tam eveti konte sadatad bhava bhavita. What it means? At the last moment, whatever thought you have, bhav you have, you will achieve without fail. So we can naturally conclude, Prabhupada is giving a positive note. We can naturally conclude that if we always think of Krishna or become fully Krishna conscious, we can be promoted to the planet of Golok Vrindavan, where Krishna eternally lives. So, when they get their desired result, why can't a devotee get his desired result if he think of Krishna? And Shruti Bhi means according to the Vedic regulations. So we can get the Krishna Lok if we follow the prescribed method of devotional service under the guidance of bona fide spiritual masters. The last verse of this chapter. After the departure of their father, 9 brothers married the 9 daughters of Meru, and the name of the 9 daughters are Meru Devi. She married to Nabi. Prati Rupa Ugra Dranshti. General Ugra Dranshti means the one whose teeth are very ferocious. Lata, Ramya, Shama, Nari, Bhadra and Deviti. So these are the daughters of Meru, and all of them married to the 9th son of Agnidhar. So now we are starting the next chapter. You have any question or comment from this chapter?
Yes, Guruji.
Haji? Yes?
Haji, Guruji. Yes, Guruji. But one question is, as mentioned, Ilavarta Varsha Bharat Varsha was known as Ilavarta Varsha earlier. Am I correct?
Yeah, I think there's a word, Ilavarta Varsha, there's some other word also.
Bharat Varsha was known as earlier Ilavarta Varsha, later on Bharat Maharaj became Bharat Varsha.
That's right. It was called...
But here is mentioned, here means Ilavarta Varsha separate and Bharat Varsha is 9-1.
Yeah, Ilavarta Varsha is also word, but I think there is another word also for this Bharat Varsha before Maharaj birth ruled. I think Ilavarta is one word. Other word is also there, I hope. Ajnab Varsha. It's not Ilavarta, it's Ajnab.
So Bharatvarsha was known as Ajnab.
It was Ajnab earlier. I think it is this word is more in my mind like Ajnab. 11th verse is a verse in which Lord Shiva and Parvati live. It is in the center of the Jambu Deep. And there is no female is allowed there. Oh, sorry, no male is allowed there. And even animal male cannot enter there. Yeah, because son of Vivasvat Manu on a horse entered 11th verse. The horse become the mare and the son become the girl. So this is a place where nobody should go, otherwise he will lose his sex.
Thank you. So for the
Sada
next
Manu.
question, I have a same.
Yes.
Sorry. Next question is mentioned there in verse number 22 that Purvachitti's departure. So King Agnidhar also went to Pitralok. How come King Agnidhar can go to same planet Pitralok? Purvachitti came from Brahmalok.
Well, she came from Brahmalok. I don't know what is the reason for that, but it appears that she went to the Pitralok, and I don't know. I don't have really any information about this, but generally, the educated guess is that when the celestial girl they come if on the earth and they marry with the human, then they will go first to Pitralok and then they will go back to their own place. I don't know, it may be something like that. Because I think one other incident of such Apsara came, you remember that? There is also there is also the Apsara came to break. That was she was also from the Brahmalok and sent by Indra to break the austerity of Vibhandak Rishi. And she gave birth. Anyway, Vibhandak gave her energy to her, and she said, "I don't want to bear children." She put in a deer, and then the Rishi Shrang was born, and she left. So where they go?
She left to Pitralok?
I don't know where she left. She left maybe to the Brahmalok because she never gave birth herself. But I don't know where Urvashi went. We don't know whether back to the heavenly planet. I think she went back to heavenly planet because Indra called her there. Why she is not here?
So this logic, as Prabhuji said, that they come down to human to Martalok and marry a human being. This is my own sort of explanation. It may not be true. Generally, because they may go to Pitralok for some time, I don't know, to please their forefathers and then go back to their place. But they are all mostly, Pitralok is also considered heavenly planet. So there is an interplanetary going and coming. But why Purvachiti is sent by Brahma from Brahmalok? But it says she went back to worship Brahma. The other verse said she went back to worship Brahma. See here, this is, I think, Chakravarti Pad has given this one line. And all 9 sons and returned to the Brahma to worship him. So Purvachati returned to Brahma to worship him. It says here like that. Purvachati, after cooperating, did not remain permanently with Maharaj Agnidhar. After cooperating in his household affair, she left Maharaj Agnidhar and all 9 sons and returned to Brahma to worship him.
This is the Chakravarti Pad's commentary on verse 20, I think.
20th.
No, this is Prabhupada's purport.
Yes, but in the sloka translation mentioned 22nd that she went to Pitralok, that mentioned there. Agnir went to the lake where his wife went, that is Pitralok.
Yeah, it's Pitralok. He went to the Pitralok. So there are the two statements here. Oh, here is another word-to-word meaning by Srila Prabhupada about Jambu Deep. Probably Asia and Europe combined together, Jambu Deep. Actually, the whole planet, Earth surrounded by salty water, is actually Bharatvarsh. The other 8 verses in Jambu Deep, they are very subtle, they cannot be seen by our material eyes. They are there, but they are not geographically we cannot demarcate them. The rest whole world, present world which is on earth surrounded by salty water is Jambu Deep. But it's Bharatvarsh only, which is visible to the eyes. So Prabhupada has Asia and Europe combined together. What about America? Patal Lok. Anyway, your question is good. I think Prabhupada writes she went to worship Brahma, and then the next verse says she went to the Pitralok.
I have a question, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Shlokanam Shruti bhi over there. Yatra Pitro Madhyati. Okay, so planet which is called Pitralok, where the Pitras are born. After his death, she promoted the. But Agnidhar went to the Pitralok. It says Purvachiti was there. This is also a purport, right? So, what is the real meaning? What is the question? Somebody else is speaking. Who is that?
Yeah, this is Mahaprabhu Kripadas, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So I have a very basic question. After going through this entire chapter, I have somehow not been able to understand, what is the basic message which is being given by Sukdev Goswami in this entire chapter.
Which
what
chapter?
Are we trying to, this entire chapter.
Chapter 2nd.
Yeah, 2nd chapter.
Okay.
Because I find that here we are having people who are highly austere, doing a lot of spiritual exercises, high level of austerity. Then they are getting, despite of high level of austerity, they are getting totally diverted. And then they are getting diverted to such extent that Sukdev Goswami is giving so many verses to explain the diversion. And then, and this is happening at a time when things are so pure, and despite of that, so much amount of slippage is there. So, what is the message which is being given to us? What are we learning? What is the whole idea of explaining this whole thing in this manner?
Okay, what are the lessons we learn from chapter 2? I think we have discussed this from chapter 1 also, what we learned. Right, there are some principle and the teaching we have discussed from the chapter 1, right?
Right.
So from chapter 2, what are the principles and teachings which we should assimilate, understand and internalize?
Right.
All right.
Right.
So,
right.
So this is the good question. So it is on the floor. Anybody wants to speak on that? Anybody thought like that?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
I was wondering that correct. So there is main thing in this chapter that how the sons of Gidhara, that means how they were 9 sons, they were ruling the different part of our universe. Like planets like Jambudipa and all these 7 others. So those things is the main things in this chapter it is focused. And also, so that means how Agridhara, because of his birth history, you could know that because his father, Priyavrata, was in fact infatuated with lusty desire. So he wanted, Agridhara wanted to go to Pitruloka instead of going to Vaikuntha Loka. That means, so that's also one great lesson. And yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yes, somebody else?
Yes, Hare Krishna. To get powerful sons, one must have a very powerful and very well-cultured woman. So generally the demigods are welcomed like that. They praise the demigod kings like Agnidhara. He praised the king, Purvachitti, just to get married to her, to have some powerful sons.
Very good. Something else?
And these women are generally not so lusty. Generally from heaven, they are not very lusty, or they don't like the, I don't know, I cannot explain it. They don't like to stay with the earthly people for long.
Okay. Therefore, why should earthly people go to the heaven and enjoy? Because they don't want them. What do you think? This is a.
No.
I think this is a say upside.
They want children.
This is just. I'm just giving another concept. When they are not really happy to stay with worldly people, then why worldly people are so much inclined to go to the heaven and enjoy there? It means they are completely in an illusion.
All the whole material world is an illusion.
No, even
this keep happening. This keep happening here and there also.
No, I was just making a comment that people who are designed to go to the heaven, they have a false notion, because those celestial girls, they are not interested in the human beings at all. That's why I'm just making a note. Okay. Comment. Why should we think of going to heaven? Somebody else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, something on the similar line, that we also learn how complex this material world is, the attraction of the sex, the dangers of the opposite sex, how it can deviate us from the real purpose of life. And like just how we are telling that Apsaras, they are really not interested in the human beings. So the thing is very, what we say, it's totally illusion actually again. And there is no real emotional attachment or pleasure as such in that. So no, that's why we should not get deviated from our real purpose of devotional service. So that is what I was thinking about.
Okay. Anybody else has to say something?
I'm still waiting for the answer. Yeah, actually, I'm still confused about it. I'm sorry. Yeah, please continue.
And Prabhuji, one more important thing is Brahmaji came just to break the determination of Priyavrata. He was influenced by Narad Muni. However, because of Brahmaji, he could break his determination and he fell into the family life.
So it means it means both the Vrakta and the Grasta both can attain the supreme destination. There is no hindrance to the Grasta either. That's what Brahma told to Priyavrata. If they follow the order of the superiors, they may be Grasta, they will be also promoted to the highest destination. There's nothing wrong in that. Out of the 12 Mahajan, half are, almost more than half are Grasta. So, I think what we're discussing is the lesson we have to learn from chapter 2, which we have just said. Say Maharaj Agnidhar was doing austerities to please Brahma. And he was a Putra Kami. He has a desire to get son. Now you see this chapter and the next chapter also, third, which we are studying now. Now Agnidhar was also desires to have a son, and Nabhi will also desire to have a son. But there is a difference between the two. Nabhi desired the son by pleasing the Supreme Lord, and Agnidhar wanted to get a son by pleasing Brahma. The result is that one who pleased Brahma got the Apsara, and the one who pleased the Supreme Lord got this Lord as a son. So there is a difference between the mentality of the Agnidhar and Nabhi. As lesson which we learn, as some of you have rightly said, Brahma is the presiding deity of a mode of passion, which means extend, expand, extend and expand. And he wants a good progeny, because he is the progenitor, first one. So he actually wanted all the Prajapatis to expand the good progeny. So he used Agnidhar, as somebody rightly said, with a celestial girl, the one who is not attached to the worldly things, but simply fulfill the desire of Brahma to give birth to some great souls that the whole humanity can benefit. Though Agnidhar appears to be gone to Pitralok, but he will get definitely a Krama Mukti. There are two types of liberation. One is called step by step and one is called spontaneous. One is called Sadhya Mukti and other is called Krama Mukti. This you have discussed in second canto. The Krama Mukti is, though they are devotee, but they want to see the different planets and little bit enjoy there, and then ultimately they promote themselves and go higher and higher to the Vaikuntha. On the other hand, those who are staunch devotees, they don't want to have any business in intermediary planet. They go directly to the Vaikuntha or Golok. So one principle is that Brahma wanted good progeny, and he used the austerities of Agnidhar for the best kings for the Jambudip 9 verses. And second lesson we learn from this is that attraction to the heavenly woman will be hindrance for our further devotional quick progress. Then we have to go step by step. And then the third principle which Srila Prabhupada is explaining in the purport is, whatever the state of mind we have at the time of death, that we will achieve without fail. So in this way, couple lesson we can learn from this and couple principles. This is for the Grasthas. The Grastha, if they want really good progeny, they should do austerity, worship some superior authority, get blessing, get good son for the benefit of the humanity. That's what Prabhupada some purport says. But Srila Prabhupada ultimately in his purport says, instead of thinking of Purvachati and going to the heavenly planet, it's better to think of Krishna and go to the Krishna Lok. That is Prabhupada's message in this chapter. Is it okay?
Yeah, thank you very much, Prabhu. This is very nicely said. So basically, as I can understand it, what the Supreme Personality of Godhead wants, and what is the ultimate objective, need not necessarily being followed by his deputies like Brahmas also. There is a high possibility that they could be misguiding everybody.
Not at all. Not at all. This is your I think assumption. The one purport we have read, Brahma is called Bhagavan because he completely represented Bhagavan. So Brahma is not misguiding. Brahma is properly utilizing certain liberated souls for teaching us certain lessons. Though they are not implicated. But if we do that, we will be implicated.
Okay.
Brahma is a Gunavatar. Brahma is one of the Mahajan. Brahma is one of the inaugurator of the Vaishnava Sampradaya we belong to. And Brahma says in Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, that my words never deviate from the right path. Name Bharati. The verse is like, after I have seen the lotus feet of Lord and met him directly and learned from him Bhagavatam, now my words never deviate from service to the Supreme Lord. So Narad cannot be bewildered by Mahamaya. He can be influenced by Leela Shakti or Yoga Maya of the Supreme Lord to accomplish what is needed for the pastime of the Supreme Lord. And I'm saying, you are innocently saying there, I'm not really saying to you anything, but I'm saying generally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told to a devotee who came that I believe Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are Krishna, but this Nityananda, he's sannyasi, he's chewing pan, and he's wearing silk, I have no faith. And Mahaprabhu told that even Brahma is so exalted, even once he was running after his own daughter Vak, and the son of Marichi left, and they were cursed to become the demons. And then then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we should never ever find fault or criticize exalted Mahajan. Vaishnava Kriya Mudra Vigya Na Jane. We don't know actually why Brahmaji has done all this. If Brahmaji would have not done all this, then how can we know that following the two authorities, how it is possible to follow the both authorities? How it is possible to get the different incarnation coming in this world? So all they are doing, as Brahma said, we all are completely like a bull tied by a rope in a nose, and we move as Supreme Lord wants us to move. So, well, this 5th canto, as in the beginning we discuss, is a Sthan Leela, which is Vaikuntha Vijay. So ultimately it is the glory and victory of Lord Vishnu. And his one victory is his Srishti Leela. And Srila Prabhupada writes, for a devotee, Srishti Leela is as important and sweet as Ras Leela. So what we are really understanding and discussing now is creation. Creation of Brahma, and then creation of the Manu, and the creation of the descendant of Manu. So this is a Srishti Leela. And this is also a pastime of Supreme Lord, which is His mercy, that He gave the chance for a creation to rectify the conditioned soul and go back home, back to Godhead. He gave the second chance. And all these liberated souls like Priyavat, they are instrument for the Srishti Leela of Supreme Lord. They themselves are not attracted, they are liberated. They are doing a drama, acting as in a drama, to teach us different lessons. So I think we should, because Bhagavatam has no Kaitav Dharma. It means all these Patra or the character of Bhagavatam are exalted personalities. They may appear to deviate from a direct path of devotion, but still they are devotees. Like Bhisham is a devotee, staunch devotee of Krishna and Dasya, but still he was on the Pandava, Kaurava side. Prabhupada writes, sometime we can please Krishna by fighting with him in opposition and in opposite party. So I think maybe when we realize something, then we can relish what is the meaning of all this pastime. Right now we are doing at the level of knowledge, but when we do at the level as a realization, this may have a completely different picture. Third canto, Kardam Muni. He was doing austerity and Lord came. And Lord, 2 drops from Lord's eyes fell. He said, what a good austerity and what a good son you are to the father, and you want really good progeny. I am arranging your marriage. Swayambhu Manu will bring his daughter Devuti. Please accept her and I will become your son. So was Lord Vishnu also bewildering the Kardam Muni? No. Marriage of Kardam Muni was arranged by Lord Vishnu. Marriage of Agnidhar was arranged by Brahma. Marriage of Prachetas were arranged by Chandra. So what lesson we have to learn actually is the marriages should be arranged by senior authorities, not by boys and girls themselves. Anyway, it's too far away we have gone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Very grateful to you for the explanation. I'm sorry I took a lot of your time. Thank you very, very much.
It's okay. I'm just saying, the whole Bhagavatam we have to see as a whole. It is continuity. And I'm saying, Hiranyakashipu is not a demon. He's acting as a demon, to teach us that we should not do like that. But he's not a demon himself. He's a Jay, or he's a Vijay, a doorkeeper of Vishnu. Okay, we are going to the next chapter. The chapter Rishabdev's appearance in the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabi. It means the 2 chapters are the preface for appearance of Lord Rishabdev. Brahma was knowing that we need Rishabdev. Lord want to appear, then I have to arrange all these different sequences for his appearance. So this chapter has only 20 verses, and there are 3 sections in this chapter. The first 3 verses Lord Vishnu appeared in King Nabhi's sacrifice. The 4 to 15 verses, prayers and prose are offered by the priest to Lord Vishnu. And the last 5 verses, Lord Vishnu is giving benediction to Maharaj Nabhi. So today maybe we can do, I was thinking 10 verses, but as much as we can do, we can do. I have also traveled today to Delhi for some Bhakti Shastri convocation something. So we're starting, let us see, because one more class I hope for us to finish. Instead of 6 we can do it 5. Do in 5. Is it okay? Shall I continue?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, next,
Yes.
this is a chapter. Rishabdev. Rishabdev's appearance, the womb of Meru Devi, the wife of King Nabhi. So Nabhi is the eldest son of Maharaj Agnidhar. And Rishabh means self-effulgent. Effulgence, he is a self-effulgent by his own. He don't need any other person's help. Rishabh means self-effulgent. So Shri Shukavacha Nabhir apatya kamo prajaya meru devya bhagavantam yagna purusha avhitatma atmajayata. So Nabhi, the son of Maharaj Agnidhar, the eldest son, apatya kama, same thing, desiring a child. Agnidhar was also desiring a child. There was putra kama, this is apatya kama. You go to the Agnidhar and see there is a putra kama. I am going back. When the father, okay, Pitralok Kamaha Sa Cha Kadachita Pitralok Kama Sura Vara Vanita Kirda Chala. So he went to do austerities where the heavenly girls are strolling. And he wanted Pitraloka Kamaha. He wanted the son that offer him Pinda, Dan or Shrad. On the other hand, Nabhi wants Apatya. Apatya Kamo, desiring to have sons. Prajaya. Why? Why he has the desire to have son? Because Aprajaya, he has no son, who had not given birth to any children. So he was childless. So what he wanted? Meru Devya, his wife's name. Bhagavantam, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yagna Purusham, the Vishnu, the master of enjoyer and enjoyer of the performance of sacrifice. Avahitta Atma, with a great attention. Avahitta Atma means mind focused. Ayajat, he offered prayers and worshipped. Now see the difference between the two. The Nabhi is worshipping Supreme Lord by Yajna. And Agnidhar was worshipping Brahma with paraphernalia of worship. So there's a difference between the demigod worship and the worship of Supreme Lord. In these two chapters we can see, and we can see the difference in results. Sukdev Goswami continues to speak. Maharaj Nabhi, the son of Agnidhar, wished to have sons, and therefore he attentively began to offer prayers and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the master and enjoyer of all sacrifices. Maharaj Nabhi's wife Meru Devi, who had not given birth to any children at that time, also worshipped Lord Vishnu along with her husband. Chakravarti Pad writes in 3rd chapter, the Lord satisfied with Nabhi's performance of sacrifice. In 2nd canto, Brahma satisfied by the austerities of Agnidhar, personally become his son. Brahma sent Purvajiti Apsara to fulfill Agnidhar's desire. But here, Rishabdev appeared as a son, Supreme Lord, for King Nabhi. On hearing his request to have a son like Lord, Nabhi was the first son of Agnidhar. So he is one of the first sons of Agnidhar. Verse 2. So there are the 7 part of the sacrifice, and his whole worship is described in this verse. Tasya vav shardhaya vishuddha bhavena yajatha parvargeshu. This word is important. Parvargeshu is not for liberation upvarg, for parvargeshu. It means for material some benefit. So Srila Prabhupada writes, in the performance of sacrifice there are 7 transcendental means to obtain the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what are they? By sacrificing valuable things or eatables. This is dirvya. The word is dirvya, I think, here. Dirvya, ingredients. Desh, Kal, Mantra, Ritvik, Dakshina, and then Vidhan, Yoga, and Upattaya. Upattaya means parva. So this word yoga is important. This word yoga, Chakravarti Pad writes by Bhakti Yoga. So these are the seven transcendental anga of yajna. 7 transcendental means to obtain mercy. So first is dirvya, means possessions, eatables. By acting in terms of place, that is a time. Kal, then time. So Desh, Kal, by performing hymns, mantra, by going to the priest, Ritvik, by offering gift to the priest, Dakshina, by observing regulative principles. What is the word for this? Vidhan. Vidhan. Vidhi. Vidhi means regulative principle. However, Prabhupada writes, this is a purport of Prabhupada in the translation. However, one cannot always obtain the Supreme Lord through this paraphernalia, means 7 ways. Nonetheless, the Lord is affectionate to his devotee. Therefore, when Maharaj Nabi, since he was devotee, who was a devotee, worshipped and offered prayers to the Lord with great faith, shardaya, and devotion, and with a pure uncontaminated mind, vishuddhaya, buddhaya. Superficially, the superficially is the word for pavarg. Superficially performing some yajna in line of pavargya. The kind Supreme Personality of Godhead, due to his affection for his devotee, appeared before King Nabi in his unconquerable and captivating form with 4 hands. So, the Nabi's yajna was superficially for material benefit. But we can remember something like that. Amrit chhadi vishya mangya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I give them nectar, and he is asking for material benefits. Vishya. A bado murak, he may be fool. Ami vigya, I am learned. I am not fool. Keva vishya diva, how can I give him the poison or the enjoyment of the senses? Amrit, I give him Amrit. So here, though superficially yajna appears to be fruitive, but actually Lord was so merciful to his devotee that he gave himself, which is actually ultimate Amrit. So devotee appeared before King Nabi. Lord, affectionate to his devotee, appeared before King Nabi in his unconquerable captivating form with 4 hands. In this way, to fulfill the desire of his devotee, the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifested himself in his beautiful body before his devotee. This body pleases the mind and eyes of the devotee. Pleases the mind and eyes of a devotee. Abhiramam, Avichakshara, Nayan Anandan, Mana Nayan Anandan. This gave pleasure or anand, bliss to mind and to eyes. Chakravarti Pad writes, while King Nabi was performing prescribed duties, means pavarga, out of great affection for his devotee, in order to fulfill the desire of his devotee, Lord with beautiful form, who is hard to attain but attracted to his devotee, showed King Nabi his attractive, pleasing form, which cannot be brought under control, whose limbs gave bliss to mind and eyes of the Nabi. He showed himself because of Nabi's performance of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, Yoga is Bhakti Yoga. Along with proper ingredients, place, time, mantra, priest, charity and rules. Charity is Dakshina. Lord with beautiful limbs, Supratika, Supratika. Su means really superlative. Pratika means direct. Reveal himself by execution of Bhakti Yoga. Along with 7 purificatory ingredients, while Nabi performed prescribed duties necessary for material enjoyment. Pravargya parcharastu. Since his heart was attracted to his devotee, this is Lord, the Lord revealed his pleasing form with limbs giving bliss to mind and eyes. And what is that part? Such as his lotus face. Though he is not controlled by others. Srila Prabhupada writes, to achieve the audience of Lord, or grace of Lord, or darshan of Lord, the only process is bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita it is clearly said, Bhakti amam avijanati yavan yascha tattvata tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as He is only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of Supreme Lord, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. One can understand and see Supreme Personality of Godhead through the process of devotional service and not in any other way. Although Maharaj Nabi performed prescribed duties and sacrifice, it should still be considered that Lord appeared before him not due to his sacrifices, but because of his devotional service. It was for this reason that the Lord agreed to appear before him in his beautiful bodily features. As stated in Brahma Samhita, the Supreme Lord in his original nature is very beautiful. Veno kanavantam arvindalayataksham brahavatam asitam buddhasundar angam kandrapakoti kamaniya vishesha shobham govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, although blackish, is very, very beautiful. So the message in this verse is, say procedures and methods will not attract Lord. Elaborates hymns and mantra and puja may not attract Lord, but devotion will quickly conquer the unconquerable Lord. So ultimately the yoga word in this verse is bhakti yoga, and because he has a pure mind and he is performing bhakti yoga, therefore Lord was pleased and he appeared. Verse 3. Atsatam avishkrta bhuja yugal divyam. Bhuja yugal. Bhuja means two arm, yugal means double, four. So he appears in four-handed form. So this is the whole beauty of the person of Lord, his form. Lord Vishnu appeared before King Nabi with four arms. Bhuja Yugam. He was very bright and he appeared to be the best of all personalities. Best of all personalities. Hiranyamyam. Hiranyamyam means bright. Hiranyamyam means golden, bright. Purusha Vishesham. It means best of all Purushas. Kapisha Kosha Ambaradharam. And he was wearing the yellow garment. Kapisha Kosha Ambar. Urasi Vilasat Shrivats-lalanam. On his left side of chest there is a mark of tuft of golden hairs called Shri Vatsa Chin. He appeared to be the best of all personalities. Around the lower portion of his body, he wore the yellow silken garment. On his chest was the mark of Sri Vatsa, which always display beauty. He carried a conch shell, Daravar, lotus flower. Anyway, these are good words actually. We relish this word, will be nice. Daravar is conch shell. One ruha is lotus flower. One mala, garland of flowers. A churi is chakra, disc. Amrit Mani, Kautsib Mani. Amrit Mani, why is called Amrit Mani? Because it is produced from, along with the nectar from the churning of milk ocean. Amrit Mani. Gada Adi Bhi, and then he has other weapons like the club and others. Upalakshitam, these are the special symptoms, symbols of Supreme Lord. Sput Kirana, radiant. Paravara, excellent. Mukat, helmet. Kundal, earrings. Keyur, armlet. Nipur, ankle bells. Adi, and so on. Ang of the body, Bhushan, with ornaments. Vibhushitam, decorated. Ritvik, the priests. Sadasya, the associates. Grahapatya, the king Nabi. Grahapatya, the master of the house. Adanaha. Means no, dana means money. So they appear like a poor person, even like Uttam Dhanam, they got the treasury, great treasury. They were looking for some son, but they got the Supreme Lord. So like a poor man get a treasury. Upalabhaya, having achieved. Sabahumanam. They sabahumanam, with great regard. Aharanena. Aharana means worship. They worship Supreme Lord with ingredients. Avananta. Avananta means they bend down, they paid obeisances. Shirshanaha, with their head, they bend their head. Upat astuhu. Upat istuhu. Stuti. They worship with the hymns. Upat Stuti, the topmost pillars. His chest was marked with the Sri Vatsa, which always displayed beauty. He carried a conch shell, lotus flower, disc and club, and he wore a garland of forest flower and coats of gem. He was beautifully decorated with helmet, earrings, bangles, belt, pearl, necklace, armlets, ankle bells, and other bodily ornaments, bedecked with radiant jewels. Seeing the Lord present before them, King Nabi and his priests and associates felt just like poor people who have suddenly attained great riches. They received the Lord and respectfully bend their head and offer him things in worship. The Lord was brilliant, Hiranyamya. He was special among Purusha. Purusha Vishesham. Mention of his cloth also indicate his dark complexion. This is explained in Laghu Bhagavatamritam. In relation to the phrase Pitam Sukolam Pita Shukam Vakshasi Lakshitam Sirya. Dharavara is the conch and one ruva is lotus. Achuri is chakra and Amrit Mani is Kaushab Mani. Srila Prabhupada writes, it is distinctly mentioned here that the Supreme Personal Godhead did not appear as an ordinary human being. Which word? Purusha Vishesh. It's not ordinary person, it's a Vishesh. He appeared before King Nabi and his associate as the best of all personalities. Purushottam. Purusha Vishesh means Purushottam. As stated in the Veda, Nitya Nityanam Chetas Chetananam. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a living being. He is also Purusha. Prabhupada is quoting this verse to describe the Purusha and Vishesh Purusha. One Nitya is singular. This singular is Purushottam. And Nitya Nam is plural. And these are the living entities. Chetas means conscious. Chetna Nam means many conscious. He is one conscious among many conscious. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a living being, but He is Supreme Living Being. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, 7.7, Mat partram na anyat kinchid asti dhananjaya. To conquer of wealth, Arjun, there is no truth superior to me. No one is more attractive or more authoritative than Lord Krishna. More attractive and more authoritative. One Srila Prabhupada was in some western country where the churches, big churches, people were very pious. They came to Prabhupada and asked, why you have come? What is your message? Prabhupada humbly said, you all are very pious people, nice, you have place of worship, churches. That's all right, but what is your message? Why you have come? Then Srila Prabhupada said, I have the message of most authoritative. My message is most authoritative. It is the message of Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself, spoken by His lotus mouth. So I have this Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhagavat Vani, is spoken by Lord Sri Krishna, so it is most authoritative. And Srila Prabhupada writes in preface of Bhagavad Gita, this Bhagavad Gita, our Krishna conscious movement is based on Bhagavad Gita, which is authoritative. And here the word is Krishna is attractive and authoritative. There is one of the difference between God and ordinary living entity. According to this description of the transcendental body of Lord Vishnu, the Lord can easily be distinguished from all other living beings. Consequently, Maharaj Nabi and his priests and associates all offered Lord obeisance and began to worship Him with various things. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22, this is Prabhupada is giving a, say when a poor man gets the riches, so Prabhupada is giving a verse, Yam labdva chapram labham manyate nadikam tata. This is actually, when yogi sees the Supreme Lord within his heart, he don't need anything else in this world. This is the verse there. There is upon gaining this, this means the audience of Lord. One thinks that there is no greater gain. When one realizes God and sees the Lord face to face, one suddenly thinks that he has gained the best of all things. And that is the highest taste. Rasoapyasya param drishtva nivartante. So Srila Prabhupada has quoted these two verses from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter and 6th chapter, just to elaborate on the point, poor man gets riches all of a sudden. After seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one ceases to be attracted by anything material. That is for Brahma. He saw the Supreme Lord. He shook hand with Lord. Lord talked with him directly. So how can he be attracted to anything else? One then remains steady in his worship of Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is chanting Brahma Santa prayer every day. He is reading Bhagavatam every day. Brahma is reading Bhagavatam in 7 days every day. Now the prayers are starting. So first prayer, Ritvija Ucho Arasi Moho Arthama Aharanam Asmakam Anupathanam. Anupathanam is most important word. We are following your path. We are your servants. Namo namaiti etavada sada upasikshitam kvarati puman prakrti gunavyati karamati. How can we glorify you? You are beyond material comparison. Then you glorify with me with some spiritual things. Our mind will never reach to that. Parasya prakrti purushayora arava katanabhi nama rupa kritibhi rupa nirupanam. We cannot really glorify you even spiritually. Sakaljan nikaya virjan nirasan shivatam paravar guna gunai kadesh kathanadharite. The priest began to offer prayers to the Lord, saying, O most worshipable one, we are simply your servant. Although you are full in yourself, please, out of your causeless mercy, accept a little service from us, your eternal servant. We are not actually aware of your transcendent form, but we can simply offer our respectful obeisance again and again, as instructed by Vedic literature and authorized acharyas. Materialistic living entities are very much attracted to the modes of material nature, and therefore they are never perfect, but you are above the jurisdiction of all material conceptions. Your name, form and qualities are all transcendental and beyond the concept of experimental knowledge. Indeed, who can conceive of you? In the material world, we can perceive only material names and qualities. We have no other power than to offer our respectful obeisance and prayers unto you. The transcendental person, the chanting of your auspicious transcendental qualities will wipe out the sins of all mankind. That is the most auspicious activity for us. We should chant your holy name and qualities, and we can thus partially understand your supernatural position. Sakal jan nikaya virjan nirsana shivatama paravar gunagana. Your qualities destroy all the sins of the mankind. Chakravartipad has a good question answer in the purport. The praise in the prose continues till verse 16. So from verse 4 to 16 are prayers by priests. Though you are complete, you should accept our offering, since we are following the path of Bhakti Yoga Anupathanam. Though we do not request to attain you directly, since we have material desire to fulfill, we have a trace of bhakti. Therefore, out of affection, accept our offering. We are following your path. This much we have and not more. Thus we repeatedly offer you respect. This has been taught by the devotees to us. We do not know the method of worship and glorification. The Lord says, for example, but you are my learned devotees. You know everything. Then say, why do you hesitate to praise me? Lord says. They reply, in the material world there are praises making comparison between your face and moon. But who can describe your form by using material words? Mentioning colors like safari and forms which are blackish. What then to speak of actually making verses of praise from these material components You are beyond Parasya, Prakriti and Purusha. You are beyond Prakriti and Purusha. You are Purusha Vishesha. We cannot produce or factually describe a form which is beyond Prakriti and Purusha out of material safari and other material components. Then Lord says, then you can describe my form by using spiritual objects. Then they say, our minds are absorbed in world made of guna. It is impossible for the intelligence of the jiva in the material world to comprehend spiritual objects. Therefore, one should only glorify you partially for your qualities such as affection, for your devotees. We only know one quality, that you are very affectionate to Bhakta Vatsala. Because the Lord is affectionate to his devotee, he destroys all their sins, even by partial glorification. So this purport is little, say like question and answer between Lord and the Brithvij. I think we'll do this today, and the rest we'll do next Saturday. Srila Prabhupada writes, Supreme Personality of Godhead has nothing to do with material perception. Even the impersonal Shankaracharya says, Narayan Paro Avyakta. Narayan, the Supreme Personality of God, is beyond the material conception. We cannot conquer the form and attribute of the Supreme Personality of God. We must simply accept the description given in Vedic literature about the Lord's form activities as stated in Brahma Samhita. Chinta Manipar Kasad Masukalpa Vriksha Laksha Vritesha Surabher Abhyapala Yantam Lakshmi Sasra Shata Sambrahma Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Somebody should read the translation of this verse.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor, who is tending the cows, yielding all desires, in abodes built with spiritual gems, and surrounded by millions of purpose trees. He is always served with great reverence and affection by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune.
We can have some conception of absolute truth, his form and his attributes, simply by reading the description given in Vedic literature and authoritative statement given by the exalted personality like Brahma, Narada, Sukadev Goswami and others. All three are Mahajans. Swayambhu Narado Vayasiki. Srila Rupa Goswami says, Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na Bhaved Grahayam Indriya. The holy name of Krishna or his form or his abode or his Leela cannot be grasped by senses. We cannot conceive the name, form and qualities of the Krishna through our material senses. Because of this, other names for the Lord are because of this. Because by our senses we cannot see the Lord or appreciate the Lord or his name. Therefore the two other names for Lord are Adhokshajaya, Aprakrita. Adho means below, Akshaj means eyes or senses. So our senses are too below to know the Lord which is beyond our senses. And Aprakrita, Prakrita means material. It's beyond material conception. Our mind is material, is a matter. Our intelligence is also matter. Therefore Srila Prabhupada says Hare Krishna mantra is beyond bodily platform, sensual platform, mental platform or intellectual platform. It is from transcendental platform. So it's a aprakrita, which indicates that he is beyond any material senses. Out of his causeless mercy upon his devotee, the Lord appeared before Maharaj Nabi. Similarly, When we are engaged in the Lord's devotional service, the Lord reveals Himself to us. How? Sevano mukhye jivado swayam eva sprudya adha. This is the only way to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Use your tongue to vibrate the holy name and to taste Krishna Prasad. For the last 3 days, I think, Nectar of Instruction, we are discussing something, this verse again and again. And I had a realization that Srila Prabhupada inaugurated this movement of Krishna consciousness by Jivado. He said, I spread this movement by chanting holy name and distributing prasad. So actually he has used the two very powerful tools for revelation and realization of Lord. The chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and honoring Krishna Prasad. This is Jivado. And these both are the beginning of Bhakti. And by Bhakti we can know the Supreme Lord. Bhakti Amam Abhijanat. One can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotional service. There's no other way. We have to hear from the authorities and from the Shastra. Sadhu Shastra. And consider the Supreme Lord in terms of their statements. We can see the Supreme Lord not by eyes, but by ears. Shrota Ikshitam. Shrot Akshitam. Hearing is the eye to see the Lord. Rukmani never saw Krishna, but she heard about Krishna from Narada and other rishis, and she was attracted to Krishna. And then she sent the Brahman with a message to Krishna. Similarly, we should hear about Krishna from the scripture, from the mouth of Sadhu, and then we should accept the spiritual master as a messenger to convince Krishna to accept us as his insignificant eternal servants. We cannot imagine or concount forms and attributes of the Lord. Therefore, all the deities which are made are according to the description given in Shastra. And we can distinguish this is Krishna's deity, this is Ram's deity, this is Narsinga's deities. They are not one, same, homogeneous. They are made according to the scripture. Even the first deities carved by Vijayavajarnap, Govindev, Madan Mohan, Gopinath, the mother of Maharaj Parikshit Uttra witnessed all those and said, yes, exactly, Govindev's face is exactly like Krishna. Madan Mohan's lotus feet are exactly like Krishna. And Gopinath's chest, a Vakshasthal, is very, very same as Shri Krishna's. So actually these, we cannot concoct or imagine the form of Lord. Here we end. So you have any question or comment? Hare Krishna.
Can I ask a question, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Prabhuji, what is the difference between the Apta, Kama, as mentioned here, and previously you said you also want son, Navi also wants son.
Pitrakami. Pitrakami and Apitkami. So Pitrakami means... So Pitrakami, we has the whole purport that Prabhupada writes that the good son who can offer the Shraddha ceremony which nourishes and give pleasure to the departed soul is Pitrakami.
Yeah, but Aptakam also means son.
Apatkam means he needs some son because he has no son. But he wanted the son actually like Supreme Lord, not to offer the pind, but he wanted the son like Supreme Lord.
Like, but that is mentioned later verses. But second verse mentions Aptakam. Later verses mention he wants Son as Lord, Supreme Lord.
So what is it? Generally it's Sutta Apata. These are the word which are a Sanskrit word for son. Dara, Apat, Sutta. So this is Apat Kame Prabhupada, son. He wants sons in a plural. But his desire for son was supreme, like Supreme Lord, not Pitra Kami. He wanted some son which can deliver him rather. But anyway, there is a little difference between the two, therefore they are different words. He was doing the yajna with a devotion, and Agnidhar was doing austerity with a desire to enjoy a celestial girl. Hare Krishna. So, Karunanidhi, your hand is up.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in the translation of text number 2, there is one word, it has been written Pravargya.
Pravargya is the same thing, Pavarg. Pavarg means material desires. Pravarga is a Pavarga, and then the Apavarg is just opposite to that, which means for liberation.
Correct. So that is Pravarga and Pavarga same thing.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, I think I take your leave. See you next Saturday. Krishna so desire we can complete this, and we can also discuss something if needed. Any other comment? Is it okay?